We're the place that helps you make sense of all that research.
And today, yeah, we're doing something a bit different.
We are. We're looking at basically the story outline for a work called Cena's Northern Lights Romance.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about the fictionalized story of John Cena getting married to Shay Shariatzadeh.
Right. And it's more than just, a straightforward love story. It's really a kind of masterclass in how writers take real life and, well, make it feel epic.
And that subtitle jumps right out, doesn't it?
It really does. Behind the ring, John Cena's Untold Romance and the woman who changed everything. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
When you see words like Untold and changed everything, the writer's basically signaling, okay, get ready for a big transformative arc here.
Exactly. And our job today isn't just to read the story beats, but to look at why a writer would choose these specific tools, these moments, for building a narrative around, well, a huge global star.
Yeah.
So our mission is really digging into those high-stakes romantic bits. Why Vancouver? Why make the paparazzi such a big conflict point?
Yeah.
And the Northern Lights, why that?
And every single one of those details, you can bet it's a calculated choice. It's all there to hammer home a specific message for you, the audience.
Right. Because when you're fictionalizing someone like Cena, I mean, he comes with a lot of public history, doesn't he?
Oh, absolutely. Past relationships, the intense fame, that whole demanding career. You can't just write a quiet little story where they meet cute in a coffee shop. It wouldn't feel right for the scale of the person.
So the narrative needs contrast. Big moments.
Needs high contrast elements, yeah. And this outline gives us that classic structure, almost like 3 acts. You've got the intense start in Vancouver, then the dramatic conflict, juggling Hollywood life.
Right.
And then this huge, spectacular finish, almost cosmic.
Okay, let's unpack that first part then.
Yeah.
The spark. The sources are really clear. This isn't a gradual thing. It's labeled a whirlwind romance.
Yeah, straight into the deep end.
It ignites, specifically during a Vancouver film shoot.
And that's not just a random backdrop. That location is doing heavy lifting narratively.
See, I was wondering about that. Wouldn't a film set, with the crazy long hours, the stress, wouldn't that be the worst place to try and start something real? Like, shouldn't a writer maybe choose somewhere quiet, more intimate?
That's a totally fair question. But think about what the film shoot setting gives the writer. It's a narrative shortcut, right?
How so?
Well, it immediately tells you, without needing pages of backstory, that this character lives a high-pressure, kind of transient celebrity life. So a whirlwind romance managing to take root there in all that chaos.
Yeah.
It suggests the connection has to be incredibly strong, urgent even, something that cuts through all the professional noise.
So instead of the chaos being an obstacle in the story, it's actually proof.
Yeah.
Like, if they can connect amidst 16-hour days and all that pressure, it must be, I don't know, meant to be fated.
Precisely. It makes the connection feel immediate, maybe even irreplaceable. It sets up the emotional stakes really fast.
Which you need in a celebrity story, I guess.
Yeah.
Move past the how they met quickly and get to the drama.
Exactly. Get
Yeah.
to the tension that everyone expects, which is usually that clash. The private life versus the public persona.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And that sets us up perfectly for the next stage, where things get, as you said, really interesting. Once that spark is lit, the outline has to tackle the reality of dating someone that famous, someone who's basically under a microscope 24/7.
Yeah, this is almost like the required conflict beat in any celebrity romance narrative, isn't it? The source points to that internal struggle balancing Hollywood demands with private date nights.
Right.
But then it gives us the perfect external conflict, too, the paparazzi swirl.
Oh, yeah. So you've got the career pressures, the appearances, maybe wrestling commitments, interviews always being on.
Relentless demand.
And then trying to carve out space for just normal stuff, like those private date nights. But the paparazzi aren't just like annoying background noise in this narrative structure.
No, they're positioned as an active threat, an external force that's literally menacing the relationship's survival.
So looking at that conflict, that dual life thing, the struggle against the job and the constant cameras, it serves a purpose.
A crucial one. It actually makes those private moments seem more valuable, more precious. It's a writer's trick, really.
How does that work?
Well, the harder the characters have to fight just to have a quiet dinner together, the more you, the reader or viewer, believe that the romance is genuine, that it's hard-won, authentic.
Ah, got it. So it's like the relationship is being tested constantly, forged in fire almost.
You could say that.
If they can make it through the media frenzy and the Hollywood machine, then it must be real love. It takes it from just gossip column fodder to something, well, Almost heroic.
And it builds empathy, right? Even if you're not famous, you get the idea of protecting something important from outside stress. So, in this story, it confirms that this relationship is solid enough. Solid enough to be worthy of that second chance the story is driving towards.
So the struggle is actually necessary for the payoff later. If it all came too easily, the ending wouldn't hit as hard.
Exactly. No pain, no gain, narratively speaking.
And speaking of payoff,
Yeah.
that brings us to the big moment, the climax. The outline builds through all this chaos and conflict, and it leads to a surprise proposal.
Right. But it's the where that really elevates this. It's not, a typical celebrity thing like proposing on a yacht or some fancy rooftop.
Yeah.
The outline specifies the proposal happens under the northern lights.
Which is just, wow. You can immediately picture that huge, unpredictable natural spectacle. That choice feels really significant. It can't be random.
Oh, absolutely not random. Think about the symbolism. The northern lights, the aurora borealis.
Yeah.
What do they make you think of?
Rarity, wonder, something bigger than everyday life.
Exactly. Rarity, wonder, a grand gesture that you'll never forget. It deliberately lifts the moment out of the kind of artificial world of Hollywood and places it in the realm of the sublime, of nature at its most awesome.
It's like saying the commitment is as vast and amazing as the lights themselves.
Precisely. It's a way to visually and emotionally signal that this commitment is huge, potentially cosmic even. It's meant to feel permanent, not just another celebrity fling.
That's actually a brilliant narrative move. It immediately suggests transformation, something lasting, like hitting reset on the character's public story.
Totally. And when your subject is a massive public figure, the big moments in their story need to match that scale, right? A casual proposal just wouldn't cut it narratively.
Right.
You need that moment of pure spectacle, something that can't be easily dismissed or overshadowed. It's like nature itself is blessing this second chance. It's basically narrative poetry.
Okay, so pulling it all together, we've got this intense spark in Vancouver, born out of pressure, then the tough conflict against fame, the paparazzi, and finally, this incredible, almost mystical climax under the aurora borealis. What's the big takeaway? What's the main message this whole structure is designed to deliver?
Well, the outline makes it pretty explicit. The core theme, the thing that ties all these dramatic choices together, is that this whole fictionalized journey reaffirms his belief in second chances.
Right.
Every element we've talked about, the whirlwind start, the fight for privacy, the epic proposal, it's all built to validate that one single idea.
So the character, Cena, in this story, starts out maybe carrying baggage from the past, maybe cynical about love because of the fame.
Presumably, yeah. That's the implied starting point. Worn down by the celebrity machine, maybe. And then this romance, which he has to fight for, comes along and offers, well, redemption. A second chance at something real.
And you can see how the structure proves it.
Look at the arc. The intense start. That suggests fate stepping in to give him the second chance, even with his crazy schedule.
Yeah.
His battle against the paparazzi. That proves the relationship is strong enough, resilient enough to deserve the second chance.
And the proposal.
The proposal under the northern lights. That seals it. It signifies a commitment that's meant to be epic, lasting. It validates that his hope, his belief in that second chance, was absolutely right. The structure doesn't just say second chances, it earns it for the character, step by dramatic step.
So it's taking a real event, getting married again, but turning into a more universal story.
Yeah.
Finding hope after things haven't worked out before.
Exactly. That's why those specific high-drama details are chosen. They inject that emotional power, that resonance.
It's really effective narrative design, isn't it?
Yeah.
It uses the complexities of celebrity life not as a drawback, but as fuel for a story about personal transformation, about hope renewed.
Absolutely.
Wow. This has been really fascinating, a real deep dive into how these stories get engineered, how a modern myth gets built. We've broken down the writer's choices. That high-energy spark in Vancouver, the essential conflict of fame versus love, and then that incredibly symbolic Northern Lights proposal.
All driving home that central theme, believing in second chances.
Yeah.
And it really shows you something important about how writers handle audience expectations, especially with real people. Think about it. The choice of location, a pressure cooker like a film set, and then a spectacular natural event, the aurora.
Yeah.
They're used strategically. They transform a simple biographical fact marriage into something bigger. A mythic story about renewal that maybe resonates universally. It makes you realize, in storytelling like this, the setting and the spectacle, they're doing just as much work as the characters to land the message.
That's a great point. Something to definitely keep in mind next time you encounter one of these celebrity stories that feels maybe a little too perfectly dramatic.
You might just be seeing some very clever narrative architecture at work.
Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We hope you feel thoroughly informed